Hey everybody, it's your humble author, narrator, and fictional character Daniel Lewis Crumpton, and it's time for another piece of literature from yours truly. This one's called The Digital Slave Ships Bilboes of TikTok. You can read the original article over at downloadedcontent.com, and it goes like this. We should make a TikTok about that, is a saved phrase of a torpedo in the palm of my hand. This magical phrase came to me out of a kind of frustration with being able to see the social media systems of control that are provided to further steer the masses. And make no mistake, regardless of how useful any digital platform may have been at one time, they are all ultimately re engineered once the dopamine addiction has set in to ensure the people stay in their place, a place of powerlessness with imaginations of being useful and effective. They have convinced content creators to believe they are activists, and in so doing, recruit daily bricklayers for the digital prison of the mind. Content creators stay on their grind as they hustle to spit out more and more diluted infotainment in effort to swim in the trending stream and possibly get enough numbers up to hot widgets from the TikTok shop. They present themselves as spreading awareness and information with their nonstop sacrifices to the algorithmic deity they serve, when any critically thinking observer can see they are merely adding to the chorus of helplessness and hopelessness that restrains the mind of man. Don't get me twisted, as the kiddies say, for your humble author, narrator, and fictional character has tasted the TikTok goodness as well. After entering the stream of this particular platform and figuring out the way it likes to be fed, I did see in it the potential for great good, maybe even as a tool for change, and that information and ideas are able to bombard the masses within it at incredible speeds. After all, issues that yours truly has been screaming about for years, such as the genocide of Palestinians by the Israeli government and said play pretend state's endeavor to turn the United States corporation into a police state, were allowed to become popular with the populace in a relatively short amount of time. This, to me, was a good thing, as now millions of Americans would be exposed via live stream to the horrors that are occurring in Palestine, images which have haunted me for nearly 2 decades when I first became aware of their plight. Long ago, in a digital galaxy far away, activists were labeled conspiracy theorists, Paul bots, truthers, and a litany of other derogative labels if they attempted to bring awareness to the fact that the Israeli state had executed a coup in this country from the top of Washington and infiltrating to the bottom of Southern Baptist theology in the highways and hedges of the South. This was for total domination of American thinking in order to bring about some Zionist empire, which would be ushered in through the display of mushroom clouds. One way or another, the collective subconscious, through political affiliation or religious dogmas, had a saddle placed upon it, a bit and bridle driven into its mouth, and blinders slapped on its head to keep its full gallop towards a nuclear outcome where maybe Jesus Christ trademark would rapture up his cult members before it got horrific and they didn't have to endure it, so who gives a fuck anyway? And if one so much as spoke this clearly in those days long ago, they were shut out from any place of involvement with the affairs of the Union and its ultimate destination. Knowing that what the masses believed to be government was actually a private for-profit corporation that, like a virus, had infected municipalities down into the roots of the nation, and this for-profit corporation putting on a show in the District of Columbia and spin-offs in your county or city halls keep the people in a simulacrum, a narrative or two in which, no matter what the politicians and political bodies cast as shadows before us on that wall Plato spat about, must support Israel no matter what. One way or another, no matter who you elected to any office you choose, the agenda of Zionism was going to move forward. An invisible egregore that seemingly swayed every individual in a place of so-called public service, regardless of if the individual was aware of it or not. The business of the United States of America Incorporated has always been to butter the bread of Zionism, or eugenics if you prefer, and likely as Gene Roddenberry might have been suggesting. The various ways this hydra embedded itself within America took on many forms, from the institution of fiat currency and perpetually impossible income taxes to the policing for profit and prison for profit monstrosities that safeguard the subsidiaries of the eugenics agenda. Through the channels of the military-industrial complex and within the halls of Congress, AIPAC has, one way or another, had this country hemmed up for a good long while now. And upon first peeking into the realm of TikTok, I was pleased to see these topics disseminating rather hastily, as now everyone could see the wholesale slaughter of the Palestinian people in the palm of their hand. The crowning achievement of any supremacist ideology is, of course, the genocide of all others deemed to be inferior. And for a time I had hope, You see, it had been my hypothesis for some time that if the information about such things were widely known, and the people could then easily connect the rest of the dots on their own, that a critical mass would occur, and the people would most certainly put a stop to it. I had believed that humanity, if given disclosure on the true nature of their government and its activities in imperialism were obvious and abundantly clear, the majority of Americans would immediately take appropriate action. This optimistic but unrealistic hope in Homo sapiens had me hooked into the TikTok show after October 7th, 2023. After the play pretend state of Israel began defending itself in a manner which looked a whole lot like Holocaust to me, and apparently a whole lot of other people too. The more and more content creators that piled onto the Palestinians might have a point bandwagon, the more I thought Americans would see the bridge ahead was out in the presidential elections, and no one was going to save them. Boy, was I wrong. For even those who held their nose and admitted this was another round of lesser of two evil Russian roulette sacrificed their energy and attention at the altar of American political theater. Old school content creation, if truth be told. And roughly 155 million Americans gave their consent at the polls, with some seriousness to the continuity of the great American nightmare. A nightmare which was always going to continue, regardless of whether the CEO of the corporation had a case of cankles and a spray can tan or mascara and a pantsuit. That American nightmare that has been spoken about in whispers for the past few generations, but is now blatantly nude in front of you all, with no shame at the dangling of its naughty bits upon your chin. America is a technocratic, fascist dictatorship that no longer feels the need to hide or shy away from its imperialism and Orwellian approach to instituting a neo-Nazified police state while spitting nothing but doublespeak at you about it. And what great stand has the American people taken? What great hill have they decided to die on? Bitching about it all on TikTok, of course, in an endless digital waterfall of posting for the sake of posting in order to get into some creator pilot program or hawk widgets in the TikTok shop. Maybe then immunity could be nestled within for the bestest of the best content creators who stayed on top of the endless barrage of bullshit being passed down from all your corporate overlords. At first, the TikTok trap feels like news. It feels like being informed. It may leave participants with a semblance of having done something in the face of this imploding planet once their post is up, with their urgent thoughts and feelings on any given matter that happens to be bringing humanity to the brink. But none of that is true. The content that TikTok is providing and the process its participants are collaborating in are the digital Bilboes of the collective will and mind being clanked together, linking anyone who might have played a part in the real world to slow down the horrors befalling mankind at lightning speed together at the ankle. And soon, that chain gang on the digital slave ship is going to get its gentle nudge from Aramon and go kerplunk into the sea of oblivion. But it'll probably make for some great selfies, so knock yourselves out. I allowed myself the sadistic pleasure for a day or two of commenting a variation of, you should make a TikTok about all of this, on any video that purported to be an urgent, heartfelt, and desirous of change message from the content creators of numbers great and small. Whether they were bitching about Trump, genocide, martial law, the economy, concentration camps, ICE, surveillance states, corrupt police officers, filthy lawyers, wretched judges, it didn't matter to me. If I stopped at anyone bitching into their palm on any or all of these issues, I would leave a friendly, we should keep making TikToks about this. Or maybe if we make enough TikToks, or I guess we should just keep on making all these TikToks, guys. And sometimes this TikTok really needed to be made. And you know what? Content creators really didn't appreciate that. In fact, my little social experiment compelled them to spit venom my way in nearly every case. I reckon the reason why is because all of mankind intuitively knows what must be done now. All of humanity combined has the common sense to realize there is no longer a way to vote its way out, protest its way out, or wake up enough people its way out of the tyranny that has infected every last inch of what life on this planet is or will be moving forward. Humanity is once again being confronted nose to nose with its own shadow, its own evil, which springs forth from apathy, ignorance, spiritual slothfulness, and resting on laurels not earned for generations prior. And one way or another, the balance in this world will not come without hands getting dirty. But first, those hands must stop making TikToks and free themselves of phones. They are no longer your tools. They are no longer your mediums of messages. They are the chains which keep you bound to the freeze fawn response in the face of imminent death. If the almighty they let you have TikTok, took it away, only to give it back, take it from yours truly. You are dancing to the exact tunes they desire you to, one TikTok at a time. So, I suppose I should make a TikTok out of this. Anyway, guys, again, if you want to read the article for yourself, go to downloadedcontent.com and you can find it there. I am currently working on my new novel, Apocalypse 2, so I'm pretty busy with that. And if you want to stay up to date on information about my new novel, please subscribe to the Downloaded Content newsletter over there. And on the website, you'll find all kinds of widgets to find us on other dopamine platforms. Put your comments below. What do you think? Do you think TikTok is a useful tool for information and bringing about change? Or do you think, like I do, that it is just another system of control to keep people stuck in the 4Fs and glued to their phone and inactive and ineffective in the real world? Love to hear what you think. Put your comment below. Until next time, love you guys. Stay well, stay informed, and get off of TikTok.
That's all from your humble author, narrator, and fictional character, Daniel Lewis Crumpton. Want the latest dispatches without begging the algorithm for mercy? It's free, it's frequent, and it's delivered straight to your inbox like contraband past the digital prison guards. So go on, sign up, because extinction is inevitable, but at least the commentary can be entertaining.